Okay, so I'm getting myself in a bit of a mess again here. I was going to start with the covers today, but then I realised I had quite a few scraps of paper left over. So what I've done is I've just used all those scraps and folded them and put them together just to make like a little scrap sample. I don't know what you call it. And then I've got these die cuts, and these are from Craft, and they're like ticket dies. They come in, I think, 3 different sizes, and I'd already got these cut out, so I thought I would just fold them in half like that. I'm going to punch a hole in the top, like about there. And then I'm going to just cut them down. And I'm going to place them over the top. I just want to trim this up, I think. First, get everything to one side, like that, just so the width is a good width. And then I'm just going to trim the edge of it up so they're all about the right width. So that's about right. And then I'm going to put a bit of glue on this, just on the top part there. Just to hold it together. Okay, and mine's just a little bit big, so what I'm going to do is just move one of the papers over just a little bit so it all kind of lines up a bit. Perhaps like that. Okay. Like that. And then what I thought I would do, I had this rosette flower, and I've just cut the edge part off. I cut on the opposite side of the stitching, so I've got a little rim, so it still holds it all together, and it's so pretty. So I thought I might use that a little bit across the top there, with a bit of the lace on it as well. So just cut that in half, and I'm just going to stitch it on the machine, so like that. And I'll just cut that in half, I think. So I've got one for each journal, and just stitch that across there as well. And probably just do that with a zigzag or something. Make sure my papers are straight, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I've stitched that on, and what I'm going to do is get one of these little pink flowers and glue that on. Like that. Whoops, hang on, I might have to put the eyelet in first. Okay, we've got our eyelet, we've got our flower, and then what I'm doing is I'm using this little bit that I cut off the other day. Is it that one there maybe? And just taking one of those little flowers, and putting that in the center of the flower. Like that. And that's what they look like. So I've got one for each journal. I think they turned out really pretty, and it's a good way to use your scraps. So many different things you can do with them. Lots of people make little booklets with their scraps. So that's just what I thought I would do. I had some bows made up that I made a while ago, and so I put them on a paper clip so that on the side, so I can put a couple in the book as well, so they go like that, or you can have them on an angle as well. And that was just, I had some bows that I made a while ago like that, and they're dimensional. I squashed it down flat, and I just cut out another piece to put on the back so that I could glue the paper clip on. So I've made one each for the journals of those as well. So let me just put one of these in each of my packets. Okay, our packets are getting quite full now. They've got lots going on there. And I want to put them together now. There'll still be lots of decorating, but I won't film all the decorating. I think this was perhaps just useful to some people for the different steps in making journals. So I'm going to go and find myself something to make my covers with. Oh, these can be used also. These are little bits I cut off for page tabs. They can be used for page tabs on one of the pages. So, you know, just to hang over a little bit. They can be flush, but you can have it hanging over just a little bit like that. And you could have some flower trim over it if you wanted to, like that. So I made a couple of tags out of the manila folder covered in fabric, and I put a couple of those bows on there as well. So that's another thing I've done. And I was rustling around trying to find something for my covers. I only have one cereal box because my son's the only one who has cereal, so it takes a while to get a box. So until I can find something to cover them both, then I can't make the cover. But while I was rustling around, I found a bag with some odd bits from a few years ago that I thought I can use for my to make some journal cards. How nice is that? That looks like a crochet pattern, a vintage crochet pattern. So I'll make a couple of journal cards out of that. I've got some leftover pieces that were never used, so I'll use that as well, just to add a bit of a different colour, you know, a different look to it. But I found a bag and it had these little bits that I pre-made years ago, and that's like baking paper envelopes, and they're just blanks that I've made. So there's a couple of those I'm going to use. A couple of the music paper ones. There's the baking paper. Like I said, these were in a bag from a few years ago. I've also got some little coin envelopes that were in the bag as well, that I will use some of those in the journal. And I made these just by opening up a coin envelope, and because I can still see the pencil lines actually, and using that as a template to make them. And then a couple of belly bands already made up, and that's just out of a soup packet. So that's nice to have the bases there. Oh, look at that. See, that'd be nice just as a little sample piece in the journal somewhere, wouldn't it? I could, if I cut that in half, I'll have one for each journal. There we go. And put a button or a flower on those, and that's something else. So I just thought I would show you those things. I've got that. Look, I could use that down the centre. I don't know if I want it so fluffy, kind of, but, you know, there's a thought to have as a belly band, nice and flat, actually. So they're just some of the things you can use as a base and then decorate as you go along. So I'm going to spend a couple of days just playing and putting things together and trying to come up with something. I know I've got some large envelopes somewhere. I just can't find them at the moment, and they might make a good base for the journal covers. And maybe put a manila folder inside of them to give them a bit more strength. But until I find them, I can't go on with the cover. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time decorating. I won't record it, but I will show you what I do at the end. So I hope you've enjoyed the first quite a lot of videos. And the next video after this one will be the covers, how I made them, and probably binding as well. Okay, and then the one after that will be the final flip through. So take care, everybody, and enjoy your weekends. Bye.